Right, this is another one of the extra videos I do to try and answer a question for somebody. I was asked by one of my subscribers to review the Bandsaw because he's looking into getting the Bandsaw and he just wants to know about this one. No problem. So we're going to have a look at the SIP 14-inch professional wood cutting bandsaw. Okay, right. It's got a 14-inch throat on it. I actually don't know what the cutting height is. I never checked. Right. Now the camera will probably move around a bit when I'm doing this because I can't actually get the whole bandsaw into shot. Because if you've seen the tour, right, 10.5 inches depth. Throat, by the way, is from there to there on a bandsaw. Right. As I was saying, if you've seen the tour, you know my workshop is actually quite small. Right, the SIP 14-inch professional bandsaw. Great saw. Haven't actually had any problems with it, except the normal one that's on all bandsaws. The extraction is terrible. I haven't even got it hooked up. I just hoover the thing out every time I use it. I don't think any bandsaw manufacturer has actually cracked that one yet on how to get a decent dust extraction on a bandsaw. Right, we might as well start at the top, I suppose. Right, all the parts of the bandsaw are protected by safety switches. Right. Yeah. First thing, I'm going to open the top and I'm going to make sure that that's off, right? And I'm also going to kill the power to the bandsaw, which is there, which is in there, right? Now, right, we'll open this up. Right. It opens up with these two bolts there, right? Inside, can you see that? Yeah, there's the safety switch, right? Big solid wheel in there for right, rubber tire on it. This top adjustment is tension, is blade tension. Is that in shot? Yes, it is. Right, that top adjustment there is blade tension. Right, there's also a gauge here to adjust your tension depending on the width of blade you have. I don't actually use it. I will use the deflection method, which is that. Right. If you want to know how to set up a bandsaw, look for a guy called Alex Snodgrass. There's nothing that man doesn't know about bandsaws, and I have mine set up the way he recommends. Right. What else is in there? There's really not a lot else in there. It's basically just a big wheel, the adjuster, right, that tension gauge, right. This is the height rule and stuff. And that's about it for the top of it. Right, there's actually not much to a bandsaw. It's basically, it's a big motor and it's 2 wheels and a blade in a housing. That's all a bandsaw really is. Right, that's locked. Right, right, on this side you have, right, on the back here, right, I'll show you the back in a minute and we'll point all these out. Right, there's a lock for your cutting height, right? And your wheel there is up and down, right? Right, right, and there's a marker there for it, right? You can go all the way down or all the way up, right? And lock it off when you need to. You see, I have blade tension written there, and I also have it written there because I constantly forget to release the blade tension on the saw after I use it. So I actually wrote it there to remind myself. It's not good to leave a bandsaw blade under tension. It's much better for the blade if you release it. Right, now we tilt down a bit. Right, okay. Lathe bed itself, cast iron, and it tilts. I've tilted it a couple of times. It's simple. I'll show it to you when we get to the underneath, right? You have a fence here right, which adjusts two ways, right? You lift that and it'll just slide, or you've what they call a micro adjuster here, right? You've two windows here and here, right? And they have red lines in them, and there's a ruler here. So if you want to micro adjust, you push that in and just turn it, and you can micro adjust anyway, and just lock it down then, right? It's handy out to have, right? If you want to get extremely accurate. For what I do on the bandsaw, I don't need it. I never micro adjust stuff. Right? I need this for cutting blanks, which is what I use it for, right? Right, I'll wheel this back up a little bit so you can see something. Right, one of the things that turned me on to getting this bandsaw is the fact it has guide rollers and not guide blocks. Right? The guide rollers are better because they're not actually physically rubbing the blade. Right? If the blade touches these, which when you're cutting a bowl blank, it normally will, right? Instead of actually rubbing against something solid, there's a bearing roller there, and there's one at the back here. They don't wear out, whereas the blocks do, and you have to replace them. It was one of the things that turned me on to getting this bandsaw over many of the others, right? Right, as I said, safety switch, lift up and you have start and stop, or you have an emergency stop just by hitting it. Right. This is one of those times where I can't say a word. Right. This. Right. The fence is movable that way and that way. And you can turn it to whatever degree you want to get whatever cut you want. It'll go to 60 degrees either way. Suppose miter sledge. So, right, right. Here we go down now. Right then, underneath you have the same thing. You have rollers and not blocks. Right. That one actually could do with a greasing by the looks of it. I was cutting some. There it is. I was cutting some bog oak on it the other day, and I haven't serviced it since. Just where that one is a little sticky. Right, there's the tilt mechanism. You can see under there, right? And the tilt mechanism is really simple. It's a case of one lever, right? And the table will tilt, right? And as you can see there by that bolt sticking up out of it there, that's an auto stop for when the table's flat. Right. Tilt back, that's flat. And you just lock it off again, right? Now the one thing is, that handle's plastic. You don't need to put much pressure on it. That handle there at the back is plastic. You don't need to put a lot of pressure on it to lock it. So don't be swinging out of it. Right, down at the bottom, in the case, just move the camera back a bit. In the bottom, we have a big wheel like on the top, right? You have a brush here to clean off the tire, because down here is where most of your sawdust goes, right? That's the extraction part. It's not very good, I'll tell you that straight out. But as I said, I don't think there's any bandsaw company that's actually got a good extraction system on a bandsaw, right? Big wheel, right? that's the motor pulley, right? Comes around here to the adjustment pulley and up to the drive pulley, right? That's adjustable by this handle, right? There's also two wheels. There's also two drive wheels for faster and slower speeds. From what I've read, fast speed is for wood, slow speed is for metal. This is what I've been told. Right, so that's the way I have it set up. I have it set up on the fast pulley. And as I said, and the other safety switch. As I said, there's not actually much to a bandsaw in the works wise. Let's get that locked up again. I'll put that screwdriver. There, it's beside me. Right. Down the bottom, there's just a little compartment for extra tools, and with the saw you also get an extra fence that can be put here. That can be put on your main fence to basically to hire it up if you need it. I just start it down there because I never use it. Right, now we'll have a look at the back. Right, at the back you have various controls. Right, this top lever is the quick release for the belt tension. Quite handy when you're changing blades. That at the moment is basically in the neutral position. All the way over here makes it completely loose, and you can change the belt or you can change the blade. And all the way over here to this side is it tight. Right, got to drop down a bit. Right, and you have two wheels here on the back. This first one is the lock for the guides. Remember earlier on I showed you this wheel turning, this wheel here turning. That's the lock for it. Right. This one here is for blade tracking. Right. Undo this nut, or undo this like winged nut here, and you turn that in and out, and it'll tilt the top wheel that way or that way so that your blade tracks, which you can see through this window here. Now, you can actually see mine. You'll see that the teeth on mine are in the middle of the belt, or are in the middle of the tire, which is the way Alexander Grass said to set them up, because it causes less drift. So that's what I do. Right, we'll just go down to the bottom part of this now. Right, down underneath the bottom of the back, you've got a 2 horsepower motor, straightforward 2 horsepower motor, and the extraction duct, which, as you see, isn't hooked up because, as I said, they're terrible. And that's about it. As I said, a bandsaw is a very simple tool. It's a motor, 2 wheels and a blade, and that's about it. Alright then, now the main question, how does it cut? I've turned it back on. Start her up. That's the cut I get. Right, not too bad at all. Right, the blade I use is a 3 TPI skip tooth, 1/2 inch. And the blade that comes with it, as far as I remember, is a 6 TPI. For wood turning, those teeth are too close. I would advise to get a 3 TPI and a skip tooth at that. Otherwise, it's a very good saw. I've broken a few blades on it, but that's probably because of the way I use it. I cut some big round blanks on this, and it does. I do put some strain on it, but otherwise, I can't complain about this saw at all. It's handled everything I've thrown at it. The saw itself has never gone wrong, and I have cut some big stuff on it. I'd recommend it. I said it has the only problem with this is it has the same problem that every other bandsaw has. The extraction system is terrible. The advantages over the other saws are those bearings. They will save you so much grief. I don't think there's much more I can say about it. So I hope that was useful to you, Matthew. I hope I helped out. And see you in the next one.